What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today is February the 27th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is doing today. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, you have GDP coming out in roughly around 30 minutes. Forecast is 2.3. And I guess dependent on the results, you could see some volatility in the broader market, but market seems to be somewhat in euphoria right now, associated to Nvidia's earnings. So Dow is up 0.32, S&P is up 0.7, and NASDAQ is up 0.77. So maybe euphoria is a little bit too strong of a word, but you guys get my idea. A lot of good momentum, and yeah, honestly, Nvidia's earnings were generally good. They are actually one of the stocks I'm going to be talking on, so I won't dive into deep all that much, but SoFi is piggybacking off the good momentum, so up 2.42%. No news, no SEC filings from them whatsoever, so they're definitely rebounding fairly well. Shorts have been really increasing, so 12.44% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 134.06 million shares. And so this spike right here was just Ortex adjusting, so you can kind of see this little brief spike right here. Hopefully you can see that better there, but ultimately 2 times per month NASDAQ just disclosed the true amount of shares being shorted. So as of February the 14th, so this report was submitted yesterday, but as of February the 14th, there was 132.26 million shares overall are being shorted. So working out to be roughly around 6 million shares of a increase, more than what we anticipated between January the 31st and February the 14th. So kind of interesting for that. Moving over here though, so with that 1484, trading between these 2 points to this pivot in this S1. So 1449, definitely watch for that to hold throughout the day. I can't see, even with GDP being negative, possibly, I can't see that being touched, but anything is possible, of course. 1545 will be that next strong target / resistance, followed by 1642. So just take note of that. Nvidia is up 2.93%. So during the overnight, they were largely red, even after hours yesterday. So market seems to be very optimistic now about it. And for face value, they actually did beat on the key metrics. It's just the future guidance was somewhat iffy. It wasn't negative, it just wasn't as bullish as a lot of people were ideally wanting. But it looks like market doesn't seem to care all that much, so it is recovering and helping the market recover as well. So 1.02% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 238.91 million shares. So Nvidia is not a squeeze play whatsoever, and you can kind of see during that same time period, because of course NASDAQ did disclose the true amount of shares as well with Nvidia. So shorts did actually return roughly around 30 million shares between January the 31st and February the 14th. So while it was for the most part kind of running up from right here, shorts were returning a lot more than what was anticipated. So pretty good stuff. That obviously does signal exactly why it was probably moving up a lot faster than what some individuals did estimate, because yeah, when it was selling off, it was kind of a scary time. February the 13th, February the 3rd, it did hit $114. But as far as today goes, with that 134 and change, trading between this R1 and the pivot, 143 will be the next strong target / resistance, followed by 152. Flip side, 129, and then 115 will be the strong support levels. So most likely it will just be gravitating within this range today. I don't see this R1 being touched, even if GDP, for instance, is positive. And this 129, I can't see this being touched. Again, during the overnight, it was briefly below that, but I think given the momentum right now, I don't see that being touched. Moving over to the next stock, so Mera, absolutely mind-blowingly amazing earnings. So it is up 12.85%, 1405. So they definitely will be getting a hell of a lot of attention in the market today. As far as this, 25.18% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 84.08 million shares. Shorts definitely did double down quite a lot leading into their earnings, insinuating that they felt like their earnings was going to be a miss, but they blew it out of the water, almost doubled the earnings per share estimates. And same goes for the revenue, like amazing stuff. With it at 1403, it is trading right below this S2. So 1404 is going to be the next strong target slash resistance and be that key point to really watch for it to close above that today. If you are going to see a recovery back into the kind of $16-17 range. So that's kind of the first baby step, 1404, and then followed by 1455. Flip side, 1322 will be a strong support, and I don't see that being touched whatsoever today. If anything, it'll just be flirting with this S2, possibly even this S1 throughout the day. Moving over to this, SoundHound definitely gaining some good momentum. They have the earnings after hours today. I'm going to be live streaming that under this channel. So if you're interested, definitely join. But no news from them, no SEC filings from today. So it is just a combination of the broader market recovering as well as FOMO associated to their earnings. So a lot of high expectations. Earnings estimates right now are -8 cents for the earnings per share, 33.7 million for revenue, and then over the last 90 days, 0 positive and 1 negative revisions to the earnings per share. So should be a fun time. It's all going to come down to future guidance with this stock though, so we'll wait and see how that does turn out. But 31.56% at the free float is being shorted, works out to be 103.8 million shares overall are being shorted. And so shorts have definitely been doubling down, meaning that they feel like their earnings is going to be a miss. That being said though, even though SoundHound did run up like 400% plus throughout when it did run, like shorts just increased. So it's hard to kind of tell if shorts are just once again getting more bold with the stock or if they feel like their earnings is going to be a miss. So just kind of stay tuned for that. With it at $10.17 though, trading between this S1 and S2. So 10.02 will be a strong support that you really want to watch for that to hold. Flip side, $12.48 is going to be the next strong target slash resistance, followed by 16.47. So it should be a fun time. When it comes down to them, their current implied move is 15.01%. So working out to be almost like a $2 move in either direction. So that is what the market is seeing for their earnings. And historically speaking, under this column right here, it looks as though SoundHound does miss roughly around, it's about like a 55-60% of the time from their earnings. When they do, although miss, it does go down on average, I say around 10%. Flip side, when it does beat, it goes up roughly around 5%. So a little bit more oriented towards the downside. So maybe that is what shorts are kind of betting on. So let me know your viewpoint on that. So RILY Financial did have a nice run yesterday, up 35.58% because they got news that they are now once again compliant with the NASDAQ. So pretty good stuff for that. They did, although, put out news today, which wasn't the best, but it still doesn't seem to be taking away from the momentum. So it is up 20 something percent right now, so 22. And the news that came out this morning was that RILY Financial announces 160 million debt financing provided by Oaktree. And so the market cap right now is 172. So like I said, in theory, that should bring the stock price down, but there is a lot of good momentum from yesterday's news as well as just the broader market. Shorts though are a pain in this stock. It definitely has been on my top 5 most heavily shorted stocks list in the past, but 63.08% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 10.15 million shares. So shorts have doubled down quite a lot over the last little bit. So it went from 53% short interest to where it is now. At its peak though, it was 89.56. That's when I believe they were having a lot of legal trouble from my understanding. And then right now though, with it at $6.91, trading between this R3 and this R2, so $5.80 will be a strong support. I don't see that being touched today. And then flip side, 703 is going to be the next strong target slash resistance. So let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Is there any other stocks that's floating your boat? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And one final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some good buy signals on stocks, options, or crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.